Hi, I'm Rachel McLeod. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and emotional wellness coach. And today I want to talk with you about the one thing that I see the question being asked over and over and over again is really, um, and this question really holds people back from getting to their outcome. And I just want you to know if you've been following me for any time, I have been meditating and plotting on how to get you to your healing. So I just want to give you a fair warning that pretty much for the next 2 weeks, if you don't want to change, you should just stay, not watch these videos, okay? Because I'm coming after you because I want you to move into healing. I want you to get the win. I want you to eliminate this suffering, get out and move on with your life. And so that's what I'm thinking about day and night and day. And when we put our brains to these things, watch out, guys. So that's my intention for you. And that leads me to this statement. This is the one thing, this is the one question people are asking that blocks them intensely from getting to where they need to be. And that's, will it work for me? You've tried so many things, you've done so many things, and the question is, will it work for me? Will this just be another failure? And can I even get there? Can I even bring myself to try again? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And hopefully we're going to annihilate that for you so that you get up and get after it. And you don't have to get up off your couch to heal. As a matter of fact, if my clients are couched, that's where we're doing the healing work. And we know we got that symptom eliminated because you actually get off the couch, right? Um, and so no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you can absolutely heal. But what I've noticed is that there are three traits that when I talk to somebody, I know if they will get this or not, and if they will get this or not now. Okay. And this will it work for me question is one of the things that blocks them. But let's go here to the other side of these three traits. Um, and there's a couple other ones, but I'm going to leave those below. Okay. Not below, we'll do those another time. But the number one trait of the people who get their win and who finally overcome these things and they go on to eliminate symptom after symptom after symptom and get their lives back, and so that they can move on to dream life creation, right? Is that they are decisive, and that's not a trait. They just decide to do it. That all of a sudden, that's just they're usually people that are like, that's it. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick of suffering. I'm sick of seeing the same cycle in my life. I'm sick of how it's hurting my family. I'm sick of how it's hurting me. I'm sick of missing out on my life. I'm sick of not stepping into my dream. I'm sick of it. I'm done. That's enough. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get there. That's there. Like that's where they get. And when I run into those people, I know like, oh, things about to get popping over there. It's a really powerful place to be. I'm working on shifting you into that. So hang with me today. Um, so it's a very powerful place to be. And will it work for me? Blocks that decisiveness, right? Because you're going through the questions. Will it work for me? I don't know. And when you ask your brain that, your brain says, "Well, let's go look in the vault and let's see all the things we failed at and what worked before and didn't work." And sometimes a lot of times it will come out of the vault with a bunch of yuck. But guess what? That's not an indicator of where you could be. And if you decide on your future based on your past, that's not going to. There's like you can it could go well and it could not go well, right? It's that's a dice, right? Because if you go and look at that, you can decide that I can decide that if I do the things I did before, then it's not going to work very well, and because of that, let me try something new. Or you can go in the past and say, I've tried so many things and I just don't think I can heal, right? So it's really tricky when you go into the vault, but let's do this. Let's have this conversation so that you can, if you're going to go into the vault. So I want you to pull out the good stuff. Um, the second thing is that they're committed. They are committed to doing whatever it takes to solve this problem. There is nothing that is a greater priority for them. This is their number one priority because they understand that when they fix this problem, everything else will fall into place. And everything else has the opportunity to then fall into place. And will it work for me? Can really break people's commitment to themselves or not, or prevent people from moving into a committed place, right? Um, so, and the third trait that these people have when they get this is that they're resourceful. They will find a way, they will make it happen. And this has to be something that you do for yourself. This has to be something that you clear away, you find, you pull out. And it's that thing where it's kind of magical because people that are resourceful, where they are like, I will, where there's a will, there's a way, I will find it. They make a way where there isn't a way. And that is a powerful thing to combine with all of this stuff. Because when you have those three things, it's just it's done. It's just on how we're going to get there. What's the route now? And so, but I want to talk to you about this will it work for me stuff because it can really block you from getting into those states. So those three things are the goal of this conversation and the goal of this week for you and the goal of my next 2 weeks. And you're going to start feeling some of this stuff if you stick around. If you don't want to move through this stuff, exit now so that you don't get any of this on you. Okay. Um, but what's so powerful of this will it work for me thing is the emotions that come up with it. Logically, you know that anybody can heal, right? And you're anybody, and so you can do that. But emotionally, what happens when this thing is, when we ask this question, when this question comes on us, it activates the emotions that we've got going on, which we've got stored in there, which are part of what is causing all of the symptoms of anxiety, depression, and traumatic stress. And this part of the loop that we can stay stuck in. And so, but what happens is that grief, the emotion of feeling like we've lost so many things. And the emotion of grief can come up in here when we're trying to become decisive, and it can really start to take our energy away from decisiveness and into a grief cycle. And that's really difficult to decide from. It there you can just have so much sadness for the things you've lost, all the things you've tried, all the time that you've wasted, all the all the times you've snapped at your kids. That's there, and guess what? We can't take that away. I wish I could. I really wish I could. I'd be in that line. Like sometimes I go look for that line. It's not there. Okay, I want you to know it's not there. You can't get in that line. Nothing's going to come of you looking for it. But if we can accept what is, we can move forward. We can be here and go forward instead of getting stuck at the past, right? We can only make things better and make those things lessons. But that sadness can really stop us from moving forward and deciding it. You know what? I'm gonna find out if it's gonna work for me. Um, but what happens here is that when we go into the vault and all of our past failures come up, and if you've been working on eliminating these symptoms and getting healthy emotionally and mentally for decades, which many of you are, you can really start to feel hopeless. Like maybe this is just it. Maybe people don't really heal these things. Maybe this is just what I'm supposed to be living with. So let me go down the coping route instead of the elimination route. And that's a decision to go down coping or decision to go down elimination. That this question, will it work for me, is going to direct you. And if you think no, this is it, you're going to go down the coping route, and so you're going to miss out on the path to elimination. um, and it is there. There is a route like that. But also, when you're talking about will it work for me, a lot of times we have a lot of anger and resentment and bitterness that will come up, that will just like, we just want to go scorched earth on the world about it. We just want to burn down everything. I hate all therapists. I hate all to these tactics. Nobody knows anything. And I want you to know I know about scorched earth mode because I'm good at that. That lets me know, oh, we have some work to do. Um, time to do some inner world work. Okay. But I know that mode, and I know that can keep us out of deciding and committing and being resourceful to get the win that we're after. It's a route that we can just, or this emotional energy you can just move us down and get us all wrapped up in, and we're missing the solution. Let's get back to finding the solution, applying the solution, those sorts of things. Um, and then another thing that happens, that what the result of will it work for me question many times is apathetic. You become apathetic. Which, let me define that for you because it's some word I needed defined. It's like we use it all the time, but we just really, anyway. This is the definition. It's showing or feeling no interest, enthusiasm, or concern. We got a big problem that's sucking up a majority of our time, self-confidence. It's pumping out shame at us. It's a carrying big load, and we're just like, you know, no concern, really no enthusiasm to really resolve this. And I'm not really interested in it. It's not going to work anyway, right? And the will it work for me? If you say no, apathy is going to come right around because your brain won't tolerate a lot of grief there. There will be a certain level of grief, and then it says, oh, this is too painful. Let's shut this down. And next thing you know, you've got apathy, and you've got its friend numbness, and then you've got denial. Pretty soon, you're not even looking at the problem at all. Your brain has erased it. It's still there, but you can't see it. And so you're not going towards your win. You're not taking this. You're not getting into a place where you're deciding to solve this. You're committed to resolving it, doing whatever it takes, and getting resourceful and making a way where there isn't one, right? And I want to address your concerns here, because everyone everywhere is asking this question: will it work for me? When you go to the dentist and he says, hey, or she says, hey, let's fill these cavities, the question is, will it work for me? You've got some pretty good confidence there that it will work for you. That's what people do around here. Um, so yeah, it'll work for me. And those things happen quickly. We talk about this when we go to get our master's or our doctorate. Will it work for me? Can I make it through? Am I going to do this? Yeah, okay, let's go. And it didn't move into decision, right? But the concerns here with emotional and mental wellness is I don't know how I can recover if I fail again, right? You've got so many experiences of failure. Every one of us do. If you've been doing this living thing for any amount of time, you've got references of all the failures you've ever had, right? And if you've got an anxiety disorder, trauma, or depression, that part has been reminding you a lot, right? And you're suffering from that a lot. And so, you know, let's look at that. I don't know how I'll recover if I fail again. And let me tell you, one of the easiest things to say is of the same way you did the other times. Like it's not really a magical, mystical thing. All the other times you failed, if you went into a depressive cycle for a while, you're going to do that again. Okay. And guess what? It's going to be okay. And we'll talk about how to ensure that you don't fail this time. But we got to look this thing in the face because guess what? The truth of the matter is you might, and you probably will fail again along the road. And if that's going to be a bully that's going to haunt you and do this and do that, it's going to keep you into apathy, numbness, resentment, anger, grief, sadness. It's going to keep you there. And that's going to block you from deciding, committing, and becoming resourceful and how you're going to solve this problem. Because let me tell you what you focus on, you will get more of. And if you can focus on how can I get this solution, how can I heal this, how can I eliminate this, you're going to rock this. And these emotions, they come up to distract us and pull us back. They're just very, the suction on them is hard. They can really pull your focus onto them. And then that's really one of the reasons why we get more and more symptoms. And it's a frustrating cycle to be in because you know it, but you don't know how to stop it yet. And I get that. But we need to understand and we need to look at this for what it is. So we can turn around at that bully and that says, how are you going to recover if you fail again? Well, the same way I did all the other times. I'm going to cry for a couple days. I'm going to whine. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to scream in my car a little bit. I might sleep for a week. Okay. And then I'll get back up or I won't, or I'll lay there until my next opportunity to heal comes. Right. Let's just look that stuff in the face. And those aren't pretty answers. And let me tell you what, I'm also would like to be in the line of the never fail again line because I've been looking for that line too, but apparently that one isn't available either. So we can't wishful think this thing. You don't get to put on your healing path stipulations. I wish you could. I would like that for you. And if you find that line, you call me up and you tell me I did the whole stipulation thing. And I think there's some guiding principles there. I think that, because we're getting into law of attraction and manifesting and, asking and receiving and those sorts of things that yes, but ultimately the way for you got to pay whatever price your dream asks of you. And you got to be prepared to say, yes, let's do it. Now, obviously, everything that comes at you needs to feel like it's going to expand you. If you're contracting in it, that's, you got to deal with that. There's a lot to this, right? It just sounds really messy. We're going to get to the good stuff because this is a mess. But that's what happens in our brain. This is why we don't get out because it is a mess in there. And we've got to create some order, but we just need to know what we're looking at first. So, okay, and then what will others think of me if I try again? Or if I try another program, or if I look for another therapist, or I do another 3 years of therapy, or blah, blah, blah. Or what if they see me fail again? What if they see me in my next depressive episode? Or when I tell them, hey, you really should just you'll be better off without me. What are they gonna say if I try again and I fail? Okay. And let me tell you that I don't know what they're gonna say, what will happen, and what others will think of you. And we have absolutely no control of that. And let me tell you, that song that, let's give them something to talk about, that song, like, let's do this. Let's give them something to talk about. Oh my gosh, did you hear her? She's doing something else now to try to heal from this emotional, like her emotional trauma. Gosh, she's not over that already. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, Becky and Susie and Jenny and Shaniqua, and KK. Okay. She is still trying to heal from that. I can't believe she just hasn't suppressed it yet tonight. I mean, that's what we all do, right? Or there she goes again. She's so optimistic. When is she gonna figure out that she just needs to move on? Right? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I'm sorry that that's gonna happen. What are you gonna do about it? Maybe one thing you're going to do is you're not going to tell them, right? There's this itty bitty book, and it talks about getting to your dream. And there's 3 tips. One is to know exactly what you want. One is something else. I don't know. It's like so small. I should have these things memorized. I don't. And the third one is don't tell anybody your dream who is not committed and determined to help you get it. Okay, so if you've got some hecklers in your own inner world, maybe don't tell them. If you've got, hecklers on the outside, same deal, you know. Let's not make it any more difficult than it is. But the fact of the matter is, people are going to think what they're going to think. And, but let me tell you what, when you get this win, who's going to be laughing the last laugh, right? And guess what? They're only talking about you because they actually believe it's not possible to heal. And so as soon as it switches over, and just by you choosing to heal, challenges their view of the world, creates for them cognitive dissonance, which is a really powerful opportunity for healing. And all of a sudden you're healing and you're thriving and you're getting what you need and what you want. All of a sudden, it's like somebody got it. Somebody broke through this. Maybe I can too. And I don't know what's going to come up for you, but we can't make that any easier for you. You've got to navigate that so you can get into being decisive, committed, and resourceful enough for you to resolve this problem and heal. Those are 2 of the concerns. So let's talk truths now. Let's talk about what's the truth of this thing. Um, let's say if you do nothing or keep doing what isn't working, the truth of the matter is that you should expect things to stay exactly as they are or get worse, which is what happens with symptoms of anxiety, depression, traumatic stress. They get worse. They show up in new places. But that's a truth. We know that if you do nothing or you keep doing what's not working, and let me tell you what, see and hear a lot of people taking free advice and free services and free whatever that is not working for them. Guess what? Free services or low cost services, and this I'm talking about like when you use your health insurance and you pay a low premium, like you pay your copayment or whatever. But if it's not fixing the problem, it is a costly intervention. You are losing time, energy, and you are suffering more, and you are letting anxiety, depression, traumatic stress drive your bus. The longer that happens, the more you're going to bump into things, the people that you love, the more you're going to be in isolation, loneliness, and withdrawal, the more you're going to be disconnected from your life, and the more that you don't get to be taking yourself where you want to go and where you want your life to go. That's expensive. So let me tell you what, if the truth of the matter is, if you do nothing or you keep doing what doesn't work, you should expect the same results. It's not going to get better like that unless by accident, randomly like you win the lotto. And that there is a lotto, there is an emotional wellness lotto. You know, you can sign up for that. I don't have the details or how much that costs to participate, but there really is one. But do you want to play the lottery with your emotional wellness? That's up to you. No, I got no judgment for you on that. I have no stones to throw at you. But we know the truth that if you do nothing or keep this stuff going that isn't working, it's going to cost you in the same symptoms, in the same ways from now until the end of, until you decide to get decisive, resourceful, and committed, and you find your solution and you don't stop till you get it. Second truth is that if you try again, you will learn something new. And that's great for the brain. This is wonderful. Um, I a couple of years ago, I had a problem that was just standing in front of me in my dream. It was just like right there, and I wanted it gone so bad. I was like day and night, night and day. I was vision boarding it. I was doing all this stuff. Like I was like telling my brain, "Let's rock, let's do this. This is the problem I want solved." And and I was trying everything and I was becoming very discouraged. And all of a sudden, I saw this opportunity to work with these coaches that were like, yeah, we know what this problem is. I mean, it was, I watched their webinar and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I knew it. And guess what? This thing cost me $11,000. That's what they were going to say, you know? And I was like, oh crap, I've never spent that much before anyway, but I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I did it, and I was chances and whatnot, and it was Christmas money, and it was all in, you know, back against the wall, ain't no way in but moving forward through this thing. Get your dream, Rachel, and exactly what I needed. And one of my friends was like, oh, "What are you doing? Nobody does this. You don't know. You know, can't you Google this?" And I was just like, "No, I'm done Googling." I was like, if I need to, I am going to do this, and I am going to learn what I need to learn. And if this is an $11,000 failure lesson, I'm gonna learn an $11,000 lesson, and it'll at least get me a fourth of the way where I need to go, because this problem and I are through. And I'll tell you what, I remember that just like burning, like the flames were around me, like problem what, you know, and that was that. And I learned, I mean, that they rock my world, right? When you end this problem, it doesn't matter how much you pay at that point, because everything starts opening up. Plus, the reward of being, I learned about myself that um, when I take the chance to invest like that, it does so much healing, right? Because you have to you have to activate so many parts of yourself to solve a problem like that. Like even just the one problem, how the heck am I going to come into $11,000? I just am recovering from homelessness. You know what the heck? And I just had bankruptcy and whatever. But it was just like to do this and to get the focus and to see how it felt like God, the universe, all just like showed up and lined up for me, and it was just like yes. But I think that's one of the rewards of resourcefulness, right? Um, but what I know is that if I didn't do that, I would have been doing the same things over and over again, and I would have gotten the same results. I was unwilling to get the same results. I did not like those results. Those results were blocking me from being the mom I wanted to be, the business owner I wanted to be, the woman I wanted to be, the wife I wanted to be, everything like that had to go. And that problem was so much more expensive to me than that. I knew it in my gut. But the thing is that when I did this, and it, you know, and when I did all the things that failed, I learned things that I would have never learned if I would have sat on my couch. And let me tell you what, I used to, when I was in I had some depressive episodes, and during those depressive episodes, I was number one reading romance novels like they were going out of style. I mean, everything my library had. You know, I do my work with home, but I do that. I'd connect with my kids, but I lost a lot of time of connecting with my kids just being depressed. And the second thing I was doing was I was playing Sudoku like I was training for the world championships. Like, come at me, Sudoku championships. Let's rock. That's where I was spending my vital energy. And I was stuck there because I was just depressed and I was hiding from my emotions. And so, but if I had stayed there, I wouldn't have learned all the things I learned in the path of failure. Like I failed many times, many times, many times. I learned something every single time. I learned what doesn't work. And when you're mastering something, you have to learn what works and what doesn't work. You got to know both. If you only know what works and you don't know what doesn't work, you're not a master. You're not an expert. Sorry. Because if you won't be able to keep anyone out of failure because you don't know what it looks like, you can't see it coming, you can't hear it coming. So when you master this stuff, you've got to know both. And guess what? Congratulations. If you've been at this and you've been failing a ton, you're very close to mastery. So pat yourself on the back. Okay. And what happens is that usually what works and the solution, comes into line right there, after a bunch of failures. So you're primed, you're set up, and you're primed for victory. You got to grab it. And you can't let will it work for me keep you there. You can, but don't. Not if you're gonna heal, if you're gonna get this, you cannot let will it work for me be a thing. I don't know if it's gonna work for you. Nobody knows if it's gonna work for you. Is that gonna stop you from trying? Right? No one can tell you. There's so many variables involved. But is that going to stop you from trying? Is that going to get you up? Because if you do try, you will learn something new. Are you willing to risk it? Are you worth risking it? That's really the questions. Are you worth healing? Are you worth going through and doing whatever it takes? Healing is happening. Yes, it's not in the majority of therapists' hands at the moment, due to economic and um, political reasons, political in their agencies, right? Um, but or maybe in the fact that we don't have healthcare for everyone, maybe we could globalize that and whatever, nationalize that problem. I don't know, not my thing. Uh, but I do know that it's there, and if it's there, and if this person do it, this person do it, why can't you? Oh, because you got too much trauma? No, I mean, you're welcome to try and impress me with the amount of trauma that you have, but I mean, you got to, I mean, I've worked with some of the most traumatized humans ever. And so, I mean, you've got quite a bit of competition and they heal. So, yours is mysterious because you don't have any trauma and you don't know why you have this disorder. Sorry, been there. I have plenty of those people too. So they heal. The brain is designed to heal itself. And when you learn how to work with your brain, you can partner with it to get any healing work done that you need. It's just like a little dance. You learn the steps, you do the steps, you do the steps again. Oh my gosh, the steps work. You do the steps again. Okay, you made a mistake over there, or you this and that. You tried steps again, and it works. And now you can dance with this healing dance that your brain wants to do, which is the cause of all of your symptoms because your brain wants to do this dance and it can't. It's getting tripped up on the steps back here over in the beginning. It can't finish it can't do it. And so you can get in there, partner with it, and resolve that. Okay. Third truth is that if you aim for nothing, that is what you will likely get, except for if you win the emotional wellness lottery. So, but if you aim for nothing, that's what you should expect. Nothing. So this whole have no goals, and let me tell you what, I am talking as somebody who goals have triggered the mess out of me. I get it. I get it. Like, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Then I say, I want to do this. And it's like, and clarify it and put a dot at the end of the sentence. And all of a sudden it's like, trigger, anxiety, stomach knots. And so you kind of learn, okay, don't set no goals. We'll just do it from the side. But no, really, you got to know where you're going. You got to aim for something. And so, yes, I understand that that's a trigger. That's why you need to get some tools in your hands fast so you can move through triggers, and learn how to work with your brain so that it can not just get stuck by triggers, but it can start moving through them and using those triggers actually for healing. That's what those triggers are there for. Those are your healing opportunities. If you got a lot of triggers, great. You got a lot of healing opportunities. I know, I know, I know. I'm being cruel, but it's true. It's absolutely the truth. It really is the truth. It really, really, really is the truth. Um, the fourth truth that I'm bringing at you is that not choosing is also a choice. So not choosing to get well is a choice. Just choosing not to decide, choosing to put it off, choosing to, those are choices. Allowing your brain to come up and swallow you into denial is a choice, right? That, going back into that state of blissful ignorance is a choice. You get, this is a choice. And so I don't want you to use that as an opportunity to go hide and put your cover blankets over your cover. No, you're choosing not to heal. Okay. And I'm fine with that because guess what? If you're honest with yourself, that will get you a lot farther than if you're not. And if you're like covering up and you're like, I'm choosing not to heal. I'm staying off Rachel's videos for the next 2 weeks because she's coming after me. Yeah, that is that. There's some honor there. Your brain can work with that, right? But it's when we just it's too difficult to decide, so we just we'll let something else decide. We'll let life decide. We'll let our money decide. Oh man, women, we love that one. Well, I can't because I just don't have the money. Um, that's a really nice way to decide that we can hide behind our decisions. We say this when I can't because, and I'm always like, I encourage my clients, my coaching clients, and I don't do this at the beginning because it's really hard to do this thing um, because of trauma and because of anxiety and because of depression. So I will introduce this a little bit later when they've moved through enough of it that they're like, oh, okay, I can make that happen. But is not to hide behind can't. Always say won't. I won't do it because now it's just you, right? But when we've been working with abusers, right? It's not safe to say the truth is I won't do that, right? And if you're still susceptible and vulnerable to abusers, I encourage you to, I'm not trying to move any of your strategies out of the way because they're there for you to stay safe. And safety is so important. So if you need to hide behind other things right now, do that. But know that that's what you're doing. When you say I can't because X, Y, and Z, no, what you're saying is I can't, I'm not going to because I don't want to deal with that problem right there. I don't want to deal with the money problem. I don't want to deal with having to make time. I don't want to deal with having to make energy. I don't want to deal with having to tell somebody in my life that I'm the priority. I don't want to do that. You're asking me too much to heal from here. And I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. Own your truth and know that, you know what, I'm not deciding right now because I'm really afraid that people will call me selfish because I'm putting myself first. Or that, somebody is going to be mad at me because I'm making myself a priority and I'm choosing to heal. I'm taking action. Some of us are in family systems, either immediate family systems or extended family systems where if you heal, it will destroy your unit because there's so much dysfunction going on. It needs every member to be dysfunctional. And so if you go ahead and do the healing work, it'll break apart your marriage. It'll break apart your relationship with your mom, your cousins, your aunts, and that is really hard. And you intuitively know that. And you know that staying stuck is helping you keep your family together. And it's helping you keep your extended family together and support and, a babysitter on the weekends, right? That's one of the things that we're looking at. But if you can be honest about that, your brain will start taking a look at that and will start creating solutions for you. So, but do not accept the lie of not choosing. Turning passive is not choosing. You are choosing passivity. You're choosing hiding. Own it. Okay. Because you're going to get power from that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is there is a lot you can do to increase your chances of finally solving these problems. Okay, and I want to talk to you about 3 of them that I know work because this is what I do and this is how I know it works and I get the results that I get. And so I want you to know what I know at the very minimum so that you can find it for yourself. And if you can't find it for yourself, then you better get on my calendar and get ready to go, right? Um, so the first thing that can help you really increase your odds of really healing is to find a step-by-step strategic plan to eliminate each and every symptom, not system. Yeah, subconscious, crappy system. Yeah, I eliminate those. But a step-by-step systematic plan that you can follow and replicate over and over again to get every one of your wins and to eliminate every symptom. Symptom and system. I'm gonna hook my brain up here. So anyway, Because the thing is that so many people to go to therapists and they're just wandering around and they don't know if they're getting benefit and they don't know what they're really doing and they don't understand if this is and the therapist says to them, how do you feel about that, or what do you think we should do next, and there's not a systematic plan, right? And well, how could you do that? Well, yeah, well, because the brain works very systematically. The brain has systems for healing, and you can really work in those systems and do the things that activate each system at the right time, at the right place, in the right moment, in the right way to help your brain move through its systems for healing. That is a systematic process. Okay. And so that that's the deal. So if you can get hands on that, or you can find a professional that will help you with that, this increases your chance for success. Because if you get confused in any of the steps, you just go right back to the process, right? And you just put yourself right back in. So you're never lost. And the brain, you can get lost in there. I don't know if you've noticed, right? But you can really get lost in there. And so having a systematic plan really can help you do the work that's in front of you while not losing the big picture. And if some stuff comes up, you'll figure out how to pull it back in and put it back into your systematic step-by-step plan and process. Okay. And that will help you keep your eye on the whole game and get all of your wins, right? And then you can actually use it to start layering and stacking benefits. Okay. So I encourage you to find that. The second thing is having an expert mentor. You could do it alone. It would take you a long time. And I'm just going to be upfront and honest about that. I spent a lot of time doing things myself. I moved my own anxiety disorder into remission. It took me 7 years. Um, you don't want your kids to be 7 years older. You don't want your life to be 7 years. You don't want your business to be 7 years older. You do this now. Do it quickly. Okay. And there's lots of strategies to do that. And one of them is to get an expert mentor on your team who's going to help guide you and keep you on the path, give you accountability, help you see what you're looking for, and keep you moving and making sure that you know exactly what you're doing. And that can catch things that you can't see. That is priceless. Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I was I was just not working. I had the tools I needed, but I wasn't working because I didn't see anything. And now if I was back with myself, I'd be like, "Oh, this. Make your list. Let's go." you know, and I would have, right? And I would have resolved a lot of those symptoms and a lot of those issues earlier. But the reason why, because the symptoms are so natural to us. We don't even notice them anymore. And then you get a mentor that comes in here, an expert who comes in here, and it's like, oh, this, oh, can you see that? And if you have that at the right time, not in an overwhelming way, you can start to learn your own inner world and you can start to see your own symptoms and you know exactly what to do with them because you've got the step-by-step plan to fall into, right? So, and I need to get a water because, I've been noticing I've been foaming at the mouth. Hold on a second. Okay. And you don't need to see that. I can't, I'm a mouth person. So, anyway, moving on. Okay, so the second thing you can do to improve your odds of really getting this is have an expert mentor on your side. If you are working with a therapist now and she it does not specialize in helping the brain heal and recover from trauma, helping the brain heal and grow from and eliminate symptoms of anxiety and depression and traumatic stress, right? And you're not going through if she's not an expert in that, you're not getting expert advice. There's chances of doing this, you're playing a better lottery because she does know some things that may be able to help you, but you're prolonging the suffering because you need to walk your brain through these steps. And the steps are really all that matter because this is not a problem up here where we're talking about things. The parts of the brain that have the problem that are creating all your symptoms, they don't use words and they don't use reason and they don't use logic. And so if you try to work with them in that way, it's not going to work. Okay. So understand that, get an expert on your side. Okay. And the third thing is a community of people who are doing this work. Get yourself in a community with women, with people that are eliminating symptoms, that this is their native language, that they are doing the impossible. They are doing what everyone said couldn't be done because now you get to go into a pocket where healing is normal and where people are doing and trying new things, and they're working out problems, and they're solving things, and they're generating new ideas, and they're motivated, and they believe, right? They believe this can be a thing, and they're getting results, and they're celebrating those results, and you're seeing them, so you're being reminded, hey, this is a thing. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You're not by yourself anymore. And many of us, that's the thing with anxiety, depression, traumatic stress, is that it's such a lonely thing because it backs you up into your brain, and it's so confusing. And so it's just like you just spend your time lonely and no one understands. And because they don't understand, they can't help you with any solutions, and they don't get it. Right. But once you get into a community of people that are doing this work, then it's all of a sudden you're like, ah, and you're seeing people heal and change, and so you see somebody doing what you're trying to do, you reach out to them and say, "Hey, what kind of secrets you got over there?" Or what made you do this? Or, what can I look out for? And you can pull from that support in that community. Now, I know that these three things work so well because this is what I'm doing in my program. This is what I do. And this is why this is the only thing I do, is because it really works for the whole thing. Right. And that's what I'm in this for. I'm in this for the elimination of any and every symptom of anxiety, depression, and traumatic stress that comes up. And so, this works. This is what gets people the transformations that they can have. And if you need further, like proof, like to get you into decision, to get decisiveness and resourcefulness and commitment, I've got some testimonials on my page of women that have gone through my specific program that are getting results, life-changing results, because it's brain changing results. It's not just talking about stuff, it's brain changing, and it's body changing results, because our body is expressing emotion all the time, by physical pains, by physical sensations, that tightness in your stomach, that knot, the burning, the heaviness, sometimes aches and pains, unexplained aches and pains, is the body emoting. It's the body having an emotional expression. And so when we do this work with your survival center and your subconscious mind, your body has a chance to release the emotional problems as well, and do its own kind of emotional healing, which the body needs. That's where you get the deepest. That's not the deepest one, but that's, for me, that's evidence that we've really got it. If you're intellectually processing but your stomach is still in knots, we're not there yet. Right. So, but that's what you're looking for in a system that can really keep you moving and get you the results. If you don't have that, that's what you're looking for. Night and day, day and night, night and day, day and night. Okay? And be decisive. I'm going to go find that. I'm going to be committed to getting that. I'm not going to settle for stuff that's not working anymore. And I'm going to be resourceful. I'm going to make it happen. I don't know how, or I know exactly how, either one. And do that. Right. So that I wanted to talk about that with you because I know that that's in there. It's in there for every one of us all the time, and in so many decisions. And I want to bring that to the light. I want to bring that into your awareness, right in the square of your thinking center, which is where, the change maker, that's the boss man or woman, and where change happens. And if we can bring stuff in the awareness, we can really start making decisions and being decisive, resourceful, and committed. Okay. So that's it. I want you to think about that. I want you to move into decisiveness, resourcefulness, and commitment for yourself and for your dream and for what you're trying to do, the business you're trying to step into, the legacy of emotional wellness you're trying to change for your kids, right? The challenges in your marriage where there's like you guys are miles apart because anxiety, depression, traumatic stress are like hanging out right there in the middle between you guys. You can't get to each other, right? Decide to change that. You can. You absolutely can. I help women do this in 2 to 6 months, right? That's what my strategic plan, the result of that is. So if I can do that, why can't you get that done? Why can't that happen for you? Okay, and make a list of why that can't happen for you, and fix them, resolve them, get those boxes checked, solve that problem, solve that problem. Now there's nothing that's stopping me from getting that. And listen, I want to make this as easy as I can for you, and I know that you're the one who's going to have to pull your courage up. You're going to have to be the one to make your decision up. You're going to have to be the one that takes your life in your hands. Even if you've never won one of these battles before, You got to keep going. You're close. You're so close. You're close to stepping into that mastery because you failed so many times. Like your story is so important. There's not going to be one other person whose story is like yours. You're needed. Your healing is needed. You're the light that's going to come from you that is you already, but that's buried under your trauma, your depression, your anxiety. We want that off. That's what you're supposed to be doing in your life, in your world. This is kind of a funny thing because when I'm working with people and they start having breakthroughs in our calls, I see their cat come by. Their cat wants to hang out with this. I see their babies flock to them all of a sudden because they're shining this thing. And it's like all the people around them are like, what's going on here? What's this light about? I don't know what we're doing energetically, but it's something, right? I had a client now that she comes on. Oh, she just graduated, but she comes on it just with, she came in like heavy and sad and not sleeping, and I remember her first breakthrough where she just came on with this big smile and you could hear her laugh, and it was just like, oh my gosh. And it's like people, she's like having different relationships, different interactions with people in her regular world, like she's a magnet. People are like, who are you? And it's just because she's unveiling and she has access to her inner light, her inner soul light, her inner, I don't even know what's in there. I like all the words, but her authentic self, right? And that I know it's in there for you. It's in there. It's beautiful. I've been able to look into the inner worlds of so many people, and every time we get there, it's amazing. It's beautiful. And you know it. You get hints and whispers of it all the time. Let's get that. Let's get it so that that's not just a whisper or hint. That's like your life. And you can pour that on your babies and your husband and your spouses and your wives and whatever, wives. Whatever, right? Let's do this. My job is this internal stuff. Your job is to figure out how many wives you have and all that stuff. So it's your business. Um, but but let's go, right? Decide, commit to yourself, commit to your dream, commit to your journey, and be resourceful. Make a way even when there isn't a way. Hopefully, there's always a way. You always find a way. But if there isn't, make one. Okay. That's what I have to say. Let me invite you. If this is something you're ready for, if you're ready to take action on this, and you're just like, hey, let's just hit this and quit this and solve this problem right now, and you want to talk to me to see if I can help you with that, I want you to go ahead and book a call with me. Go to my calendar at rachelmcleod.com/call. I'll put that in the comments here. Um, Okay, and let's talk about it. Let's see where you're at, what's not working, where your challenges are, where you want to go. And if I can help you with that, I will absolutely show you what that would look like. And I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you and say this is going to work when it's not. That's just not what I do. Um, I don't invite everybody in because I know I'd rather let you down now than let you down in 8 weeks. And I know if you're missing one of these pieces of resourcefulness, commitment, and determination, decisiveness, that it's not going to work yet. And that's okay. I'm going to show you what to do with that, right? But if you're ready to take action and you want to do something to move forward and to solve this problem, then that's a perfect time. Go ahead and grab a spot on my calendar and let's take a look and see what we can do. So I want to leave that there for you. And let me tell you who this is not for, because this is going to help you whether you're yes or you're no. This is not for people who want to wear the badge of trauma for the rest of their life. That plan is already set up for you. Um, that's yours, right? And there are times, and I never judge how, okay, I have issues, I have emotional reactions to this, but I don't judge how long your journey takes. Your journey is specific to you and it has its own beauty. And so, if in your journey, you're the kind of person right now who wants to suffer more or wants to have, and I've been there. And I actually help people through this because we will find parts of ourselves that are exactly this, right? But if this is the part that's driving your boat, and it's just like, no, I need everyone to know how much they hurt me, and I'm going to wear my trauma sign and my shirt and my matching pants for a lot longer, then I get it. And I'm going to let you have that. And this call is not for you, right? Because I'm trying to take your hat and your shirt and like your matching pants and give you a new outfit, right? And so we just don't match yet. And because we're gonna be fighting, I'm gonna be like, can I get that? And you're like, no, and so I was saying, Let's just stay friends right here, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm cheering for you. I am supporting you. I am a huge fan of yours. You know how to heal, right? And if it's not time to let those things go, I get it. You get choices. Get choices, man. And I can't think of anything else at the moment off the top of my head. Oh, this is not for you if you're somebody who is like only going to heal if it's convenient, right? I can't map out a plan that's convenient for you. I can map out a plan for you that's going to work, that I'm going to give you the best chances of this working, and that's going to get you results. I can do that, but convenient, I don't do that. I can't. Those aren't my powers. The easiest path, the path that's going to work, yes. The quickest path, yes, I can do, but convenient, I can't. If you're like it has to be this and this and this and this and this, we're not the right fit. This is for people there's like whatever it takes, let's go. I'm ready to pay whatever price my dream asks of me. And that's a specific place, right? And if you're not there, then and you're like you have convenient stuff or these stipulations that I can't tell you if it's going to be convenient or not. Go find somebody who's a match. Go do that. That's an awesome thing to do. There are so many opportunities out here, right? So if you're in a place where you want to see, you're ready to take action, you want to see if I can help you, go ahead and grab a spot on my calendar. Um, so if and I'm getting called. Oh, it's my other phone. Let me turn that off. Oh, it's one of the babies. All right. Well, she'll call back if it's a thing. So, but I'm going to go. If you have questions about anything that I've talked about, I'm going to spend a couple more minutes unless she calls back, right? And I'll answer some questions that you have. So, and right now I'm just noticing here that Keeks Riviore says true. Anyway, agreeing. Jessica Grady, hi, I've been seeing you around. And amen. Absolutely. Wonderful. I'm glad you're connecting. And Colis says he loves the genuine message. Quite encouraging. Awesome. Good. I want you to be encouraged. I want all of you to be capable and to be encouraged and to find your path and to really just be who you want to be this lifetime, right? Be who you want to be this year. Be who you want to be in your life, in your place, in your marriage, in your job, in your home, because you can be. You have one of the most powerful pieces of equipment in the world. And when it can function properly, and when you can help it function properly, there's just no limits. All the limits become things of the past. So I want that for you. So however you're going to get that, get it. Let's see. So I'm not seeing any more questions. So I am thinking that we're going to be done for today. And but I will see you all around. I'm still plotting. I'm trying to figure out how to get you moving and how to get you to your goal and your dream. So I will see you around. Take care.